As the war in Ukraine extends past the 500-day mark, this year's NATO summit in Lithuania ended with promises of protection for President Zelensky's army, but few details regarding a path to membership, timeline for it. At a speech wrapping up the summit, President Biden prepared the military alliance for a long road ahead with Russia, comparing the conflict to the Cold War. While G7 allies vowed military and financial support, they drew the line at Ukraine joining them before the war is over. To weigh in, we want to bring in retired U.S. American General and former CIA Director David H. Petraeus. General, an honor to have you on the show, sir.
Good to be with you. Thanks.
So the eyes of the world have been on the NATO summit this week, as you know, particularly as it pertains to the war in Ukraine, its great desire to become a member country. And, you know, at first, President Zelensky appeared frustrated with NATO's reluctance to admit them membership, but kind of ultimately came around to thanking President Biden, the United States, for their ongoing support. Did these talks basically guarantee Ukraine a spot with NATO once this war with Russia is over?
I think that's accurate to say. And of course, this is a bit of his pattern. He did it a little bit more this time, using a word absurd, which seemed to me to be a little bit over the top, frankly. But he's had to repeatedly ask for additional arms of various types, additional support, and so forth. Look, I've been the commander of a war where I'm sure that the Pentagon got tired of hearing me ask for additional forces of different types and other capabilities. But ultimately, he came to recognize that this is really a very promising summit for him. It really was for the alliance as well, and even for the G7 countries, because Japan joined the other 6 members of the G7 at the end and pledged additional support. So out of this, NATO, first of all, has a new strategic concept to keep up with the realities of this Russian threat that we have seen in Ukraine. There is a pledge for Ukraine to be able to join NATO on an expedited timeline once certain conditions are met. And presumably that is code word for the war is over, because obviously it was just unrealistic, I think, for Ukrainian leaders to expect that Ukraine could be made a member of the alliance while they're still fighting Russia. Which
exactly.
And the U.S. and others would have to put troops onto Ukrainian soil.
And you're bringing up
$42 billion worth of assistance already.
Right.
Again, he came to recognize that, realize that this is a time for gratitude and, you know, a bit of graciousness as well as certainly continued determination and the resolve that he and his countrymen have shown in such an impressive fashion.
And speaking of timeline and when they might be allowed membership, President Biden has said he expects this war to continue on for years, comparing it to the Cold War. But I guess, sir, my question is, the NATO carrot has been dangling in front of Ukraine since 2008, when President Bush first brought up the idea. If there is this open door policy just needing, an all-member vote from all the countries, and it wasn't granted before this war, why would they be granted membership after the war? I can't imagine Putin would ever make guarantees it wouldn't invade again and then drag us in with it.
Well, because Russia has invaded Ukraine, and because, frankly, European security now really rests on the Ukrainian-Russian border. Look, NATO countries have provided many, many tens of billions of arms and assistance and many more tens of billions of economic assistance. And frankly, stability in Europe now rests on what happens in Ukraine. And we very much should be doing everything we possibly can to enable Ukraine to finally convince Russia that they will not be able to outsuffer Ukraine, the Europeans, and the Americans, and frankly, the rest of the Western free world, all of which I think have a stake in seeing Russia defeated on Ukrainian soil and seeing Ukraine liberate its territory at least as much as is absolutely possible, and then to get a negotiated resolution with Russia, given that Russia at a certain point in time has to recognize that this is an unsustainable campaign, just as they did after 10 years in Afghanistan, where they lost far, far fewer troops than they have already lost in the first year and a half in Ukraine, and also to get out from underneath the economic and financial sanctions and export controls, which are really starting to hurt Russia much more. There's a report out just yesterday of their current account surplus being down by over 90% over last year.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.